Hello, good evening and welcome to Spotlight on MX24 television. My name is Nuong Falong. Now the times for Spotlight have changed slightly and would like you to take note of them. It's 5 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays every week. 5 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays every single week will be right here. Now, the MMDCE list of nominees we have been waiting for a few months is finally out, has been announced by the Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, Dan Botchwey. Mixed reactions have been coming out in relation to that. There's been disappointment, arguments, even violence in some areas, particularly Chereponi and the East Mamprusi district. Some aspirants who did not get to be nominated and their supporters have been very vocal. We have a few reactions of that. We're going to take it. We're also going to take the minister's comments. But before we go for a quick break, and we'll come right back to this and the discussion. Please stay with us.
Across Africa, nations are beginning to trade among themselves like never before, creating the largest continental market the world has ever seen. On the Single African Market Program, we will show you how products, services, capital and people will be crossing barriers as the continent and its citizens embrace a single market in a sustainable manner for growth and development to meet targeted UN development goals.
Congratulations, Your Excellency.
Get the latest update on all opportunities from the continent's trade house. Know the success stories and how challenges are being addressed. Africa is ready to trade among itself and the world, so are the people. The Single African Market is the voice of businesses that trumpets the vision of Africa everywhere, in association with the Government of Ghana, International Chamber of Commerce, Business for Peace Foundation, GIZ, UNECA, and UNDP.
The Single African Market, this Monday at 8 p.m. on MX24.
Welcome back to Spotlight. We are looking at governance at the local level in relation to the list of nominees released for MMDCEs. We're going to take the minister's comments and then we'll come back to the discussion.
Gender and nominees. For now, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here are nominees. Mr. President will issue appointment letters to these nominees after they have been confirmed by the various assemblies. After that, we may then be able to have a very good analysis of those who are retained, those who are new, and even the gender. But at least the nomination that we have, to the best of our knowledge, about 38 women have been nominated, and by the list, I have not done exhaustive analysis of it. Because it's been kept very tight. And so once it's been known now, and it's going to get to the districts for the confirmation process, maybe after they finish, we'll be able to know the number of male women who have been confirmed as MDCs. Then we can do the analysis. But at least I've been told that the nomination that we have here, 38 women, and then we have 132 new nominees. 30% of women, well, yes.
30% of nominees?
Nominees should be women. That's the expectation of some people. Is that not the case?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the frustration of some people, and they think that this may not meet their expectations. So that is it. I mean, it's something that we all work towards to make sure that we increase the representation of women in various spheres of endeavor. So I think it's something that we all continue to work at.
So that was the Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, Honorable Dan Botry. He himself is a bit hesitant about some of the things he's saying because he's not sure yet. He's urging the public to wait for confirmations at the district assemblies first. But before then, he also makes some comments. In total, we have 260 names. He says 38 of these names are women, and the rest are men. 222 exactly are men. This makes up about 15% of the list being women. He goes further to assert that some people think 30% should be women. I don't know which people think 30% should be women. I'm sure some people also want 50% to be women because Ghana has signed on to many development protocols that require equality in all aspects of Ghanaian life. So we're going to be speaking to that issue and others at the local government level. Are we getting it right based on this nomination list? Are we getting governance right at the local government level? We'll be finding out from the people we're speaking to shortly. I'm going to name them in a moment. But in the meantime, let's take a few reactions to this list that has been released. We're going to take those reactions shortly. We are still working on the reactions. My apologies for that. The reactions will go up shortly, but we'll also be opening the phone lines later in the conversation, so you can join in yourself and let us know what you think about the minister's comments and about the nominations list. And let me just quickly remind you again, I mentioned Spotlight is back on twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Please remember to tune in. We always have this conversation with you, and we always look forward to your contributions towards the end of the program. Now, I'm going to be discussing this subject with Dr. Seydou Alidou. He's a senior lecturer at the Political Science Department, University of Ghana. We're also going to be speaking to Dr. Richard Fiadomo. He's president, Chamber for Local Government. Also, Dorcas Afo-Tofe. She's member of the Gender and Children Committee of Parliament. We are also going to be speaking to Madame Efia Apia, who's an agribusiness development specialist. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to Spotlight. If you can hear me, please just unmute yourselves. Good evening and welcome to Spotlight.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Right. I think this is Dr. Efia's voice.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's very clear. Thank you so much. Is Dorcas on the line yet? Okay. Okay, so for now we have Efia Apia on the line. We're going to be joined shortly by Dr. Seydou Alidou, senior lecturer at the Political Science Department, University of Ghana. Also, Dr. Richard Fiadomo, president, Chamber for Local Government, and Madam Dorcas Afo-Tofe. She's member of the Gender and Children's Committee of Parliament. She's actually in the middle of a funeral, but she'll be joining us shortly. Let me get into this conversation with Madame Efia Apia while we wait for the others. Madam, when you look at this list, do you have any personal observations, as many have been very vocal about the list on social media, on the airwaves? What are your personal observations?
Well, thank you very much. You know, I actually was very amused, I must say, amused at all the reactions that have come out after the list was put out. Because, you know, we can't hold anyone to making sure that there's gender parity. We haven't, affirmative action bill has not been mandated by the president. We don't have any rights. We don't have the right to say that we are holding anyone to these low numbers. And until we have our affirmative action bill passed into law, we're going to face this over and over again. We can't hold anyone we can't hold anyone's feet to the fire when this happens. You know, we are going to have the usual, oh, we tried, oh, we couldn't find a woman. But honestly, we're going to go through this cycle over and over again until we have it in law that there should be this number of women, that women should have their seat at the table equitably. So then we're going to go on like this all the time. It's going to be a shock all the time when such lists come out.
Madam Appiah, there's some conversation out there that they can't find the women when they're looking for them for these particular positions. We know, as you're saying, that there's no specific legal leverage right now because the affirmative action bill has not been passed. So there's nothing specific to leverage, to demand a change in the figures or specific representation for any section of society. But are the women missing in politics?
Oh, there are lots of women in politics. You just take a look at when you go for any rally, you go for any political program, you see women there. But are women being elected into positions where they can effect change? That is where the problem are. That's where the problem is. Women are in the thick of things, but are they being put in positions where they can make a change? That is where the problem is. You know, when we talk about women going into these positions, let's look at the pool of women. For example, the district assembly nominations. Let's first look at how many women were there. How easy is it for women to be in those positions? Is the nomination, selection, interview process, is it facilitated so that women can also join the process? But if we don't have a lot of women getting into that pool, then we have the repeated excuse of there are no women. Believe me, there are women. Believe me, there are women. You know, I had the opportunity to look at a report that was in the media about the criteria that was used to
select,
to approve or to nominate out of the selected or out of the number of
people who applied,
interviewees. And it was interesting. It was more on the political side of, okay, this gentleman has been a secretary, has been an organizing secretary, has been a treasurer. So, you know, highlighting their roles at the district level as a party member. If that is the criteria that is going to be used to select MCEs and DCEs, then we have to make sure that we have women in those positions, not only as polling station executives or not only as common floor members. Let's get them in those positions. So if they're going to use that as the selection criteria, then women also will meet that criteria. But you can't tell me that there are no women in politics. There are a lot of women in politics. No two ways about that.
Madam, the minister mentioned some people expecting 30% of women to these positions. Is that the figure that people are expecting? Is that the figure that you are expecting, 30%?
No, I'm expecting 50%. I think it's just fair. And but that 30% figure has been bandied around as, okay, if we are not going to get 50%, let's settle for 30%. I think it's in several international declarations that, okay, let's start with 30% and work our way up there. But even that bare minimum is not met. So we're fighting for a bare minimum when we're owed 50%. So that 30% is sort of like a promise, which we all know promises are fool's gold, because you can't hold anyone to that 30%. It's not a law. You can't hold anyone to that.
Thank you so much, Madam Apia. We've just been joined on the line by Madam Dorcas. Let me quickly pull her into the conversation. We're so lucky that she found the time to join us. Madam Dorcas Afu Tofe is member of the Gender and Children's Committee in Parliament. Madam, I understand you are bereaved. First of all, our condolences. But thank you so much for joining us. We're just discussing the MMDCE list as released by the Minister of Local Government.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Right. So the questions we're asking, you have had the chance to look at the list, I hope. What are your immediate reactions to it?
First of all, for me, the nominations of the MMDC is delayed. But once it's out, I think we all need to join hands to do the needful with whoever will be appointed in the various MMDAs for the progress of this country. Well, I think it is not enough, but it also depends on the number of women that avail themselves for such positions. You know, the Article 35, Clause 6B of the Constitution stresses on ensuring gender balance in the recruitment and appointment of Ghanaians into public offices. But you know, most women don't really avail themselves. So that is what would happen when that happens. If a lot of women will really come on board, I'm sure, and they do qualify for the positions, it will be given. So even though it is not enough, but I think it also depends on the number of women. I don't think they took, the women, you know, were on it and they took them out. It wasn't the case.
Madam, you think it was just 38 women who applied?
Do I think it's what?
Do you say it was just 38 women who applied?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't only 38 women that applied. But also it was, now according to the vetting committee report, it was only 55 out of the 450 people who availed themselves were women. It was only 55 out of the 450 people. So it's still not enough. You know, 38 out of that, right? But only 38 of them representing the 14%. So it is not, still the 55 is still not enough, taking into consideration 450 people. So it's still not. I mean, I can understand if it was a lot of women that apply. Still, it's not fair. But I think what I want to say to encourage the women out there is that most women should also, you know, take it upon themselves or be bold enough and come on board so that at least the percentage would rise, you know, in these positions, even in Parliament. I mean, there has been some increments, you know, but still, it's still not enough, I would say.
Should there not be a deliberate attempt? Let's say, for example, not many women applied. Shouldn't there be a deliberate attempt by whoever is appointing or nominating to get more women to step forward?
Yes. Well, I think so. I agree. Because since there were not a lot of women, I mean, we're looking at 55 out of 450 that applied. There should have been that type of leniency because we want more women, gender balance. So they should have been a bit lenient. The 17 that were not nominated, they could have considered that. So you are right. I can agree to that.
Madam, since you joined the committee, has there been any deliberate effort to get women into politics and governance?
Yes, we are trying. There are a lot of programs that we are putting in place to make it more attractive, to encourage women out there, to let them know that, you know, in this time of age, women can do exactly what men can do. So we are trying to put various programs in place that would encourage other women to come on board and to do politics. So we are doing that. In fact, the last time the new members met with a speaker, that was one of the things that we spoke about. And so I'm hoping that soon, we will do a lot of programs into that effect.
Madam Dorcas, now before you joined, Madam Apia was saying that even given these figures, it's difficult to hold anyone accountable because we have no leverage, there's no backing, there's nothing to hold anyone to task specifically. And by that, she was referring to the affirmative action bill, that if we at least had it in force, then we have something to fall back on to make these kind of requests or demands. How far with the bill?
It's been looked at. I think it's now far from being passed. The last time we met as a committee, we talked about it, and of course, right now we are on recess. So hopefully, when we are back in Parliament, that is one of the things that will be taken into consideration as soon as possible. We've been talking about it for quite some time now, and I think it is time we actually act. So it's something that I think we won't take long at all. This bill will be passed. So I'm hoping when we get back, and as a committee, when we meet, we'll bring it up as well. We'll look at where we are and how soon we can these things can be looked at and taken care of. So,
Madam, your municipality, I understand, had a female woman nominated.
yeah.
Yes, Jomoro, what did you do right, and what did this particular candidate do right to get the nod?
I think it has everything to do with her availability. She availed herself. She knew. I think she's been she has been around for a while, and that is something that she really wanted to do. I'm sure, just like me, I wanted to become an MP. I wanted to help the constituents. I wanted to be there, to be a mouthpiece for them. Because as a businesswoman, as a philanthropist, I figured the only way I could do more is to have this platform to be able to do what I want to do for the constituents. And I'm thinking that is an area that she's always wanted to be at. And I guess that is what brought her. So it is how much you want it. You know, nobody can push it on you. You have to also work for it. You know, work at it and then push yourself. And then I'm sure the necessary help will be given. So that is what she did. She actually is not a person I know much about, but I know that she's been around for a while. And she called me yesterday to, sympathize with me. And right after that, I heard of the list. And so I haven't even had a chance to call her, but she's done well. We'll see.
Thank you so much again, Madam Dorcas Afo-Tofe. She's member of the Gender and Children's Committee of Parliament. Also, our sincerest condolences as she's presently burying her mother. Let me quickly go to Dr. Richard Fiadomo. He's president of the Chamber for Local Government, and he's just joined us. Good evening. Dr. Richard, good evening. Kindly unmute yourself if you're hearing me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening and good evening to all your charity viewers.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. Now, your chamber was kept pressing for the release of the list of nominees. Are you satisfied with the list that has been released now?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, better late than never. So we are happy the president has done what he's constitutionally mandated to do by nominating the MMDC. So yes, we are happy that the list is out, even though it has unnecessarily delayed.
Is the list representative enough by your analysis?
For us, I think that Article 2431 of Ghana's Constitution mandates the president to nominate MMDCEs. And obviously, the president will have to nominate people who he thinks are ready and willing to prosecute his agenda to develop the country. So when the president goes ahead to nominate, then these are people that, in his view, are ready and willing to support his agenda. So it will be unfair on the part of the president for us to say whether it is not representative enough. It will be unfair on the part of the president to say that.
There have been divergent opinions, about it not being representative enough, which you just spoke to. Some people have complained about their nominees being too young or not from, that particular municipality. Have you seen any of these, and what has been your reaction to them?
Thank you. You see, these are appointive positions, and people put up themselves for these positions, and a lot of people applied. They went through a first year of
Sorry,
vetting.
without interrupting you, let me just give more information for that. Asokori Mampong, places like that, the Northeast, these are people who have complained about their nominees. We've also had areas in Cherponi experience some disturbances.
Yeah, you see what has happened, and that is why we are calling for the president to investigate and prosecute or punish those who released the list of recommendations that were made to him. The president, in his wisdom, set up a committee to vet the MMDCEs at the regional level. After that, they went to the national level for vetting to take place. Now, the vetting committee made a recommendation to the president, and those recommendations were exclusive to the president. And recommendations that were made, the president is not enjoined by any law to take those recommendations hook, line, and sinker. So if somebody goes ahead to leak the list of recommendations that have been made to the president, now Cherponi, Tema Central, and all those places that we are hearing the violence, it is because the recommendations that were made to the president, which shouldn't have come to the public, those were the people who were recommended, but the president did otherwise by nominating people who were not recommended by the vetting committee. And that is what is giving birth to the violence that we are seeing. And that is why we think that though whoever leaked the list of recommended people to the president has not dealt well with the president at all. And that's why we think the president should fish out whoever did that and punish that person. Because at the end of the day, we have succeeded in usurping the powers of the president, which we are not supposed to do.
Dr. Richard, back to the question of representation, mainly because you said it was unfair. There have been other comments, especially from the gender angle. When you look at the list, out of 260 nominees, we find 38 women. Some think this is an abysmal figure. What's your opinion?
So, the question, I'm a lecturer, so I also want to ask a question. Before I can answer such a question, I need to see the base number of women who put up themselves for the position.
Apparently 55 women put themselves up.
Yes. So if you have 55 women putting up themselves for the position and the president nominates 38, is that not more than 150%? And the president, gender activists are saying at least 30% of the nominees must be women. So it means that the president has done more than 30%.
Dr. Richard, let me just correct you there. Me too, my mother was a teacher, so I think I qualify to to give the question back. Gender activists are asking for 50%. In fact, I mean, the minister mentioned that some people ask for 30%. But I think the conversation out there has been for 50, especially in accordance with development protocols. We know Ghana is signed on to SDGs, which actually charge us to make sure we meet gender equality requirements.
Yeah, so you see, we have 260 district assemblies. So we should have had 260 women applying, and then the president.
Yes, we have a few problems with the connection there, but we're going to try to get Dr. Richard back. He was giving us his opinion, especially on the gender angle. He's saying out of 260, he was expecting at least 260 women to apply. Valid opinion there, but let me find out from Madam Ifia Apia. Madam Ifia Apia, if you're still on the line, hopefully. Madam Apia, can you hear me? Fantastic. Do you think more women should have applied? Whose job is it to make more women apply?
Yes, you know, as I said, the pool that we select from has to be rich of women. And of course, 55 is a little disappointing when you're looking at 275. So that's a little disappointing. You know, you look at the report and Western North, 9 nominees, all of them men. Is it that no woman showed up for the interviews at Western North. No woman was interested in Western North. There has to be a deliberate effort to get women into the pool. That is the first step. A very deliberate effort. So from now till the next time we are faced with this this dismal figure, we have to make a deliberate effort. Let's go to Western North and ask, say how many women here want to be in contention to be the DCE? If not, we are not going to get the numbers we want. There has to be a deliberate effort. And both Honorable and Doc have mentioned it. Women have to be there to be selected. And I must say that I disagree with Doc's, 55 applied and 38 have been selected. I disagree with that hypothesis. But there has to be a deliberate effort. So next time when Western North presents its candidates and there are no women in the pool to be selected from, the president has to send back that list and say, where are the women here? There has to be a deliberate effort.
So the deliberate effort should come from the office of the president and other related offices?
There has to be a law. There has to be a law that holds our duty bearers to account. And as much as that law is in existence, we also have to work to make sure the law works. I remember for as long as maybe 10, 15 years, Abantu has been advocating to get women into the local governance system. I remember going to the north and seeing Abantu working to get women to be in the local government system. There has to be a deliberate, concerted, financed effort to get women there, because it's pretty much women taking time off their regular schedule to do this. And we know women have limited time due to their productive responsibilities. There has to be a deliberate, concerted effort to match a law. So next time someone tells us there are not enough women, we can tell them that women stepped up to the plate and they were not elected.
Thank you, Madam Efia Apia. Let me just announce the phone lines so you can join us watching at home. Let us get your reactions to what we are discussing, your opinions, and to the specific list that has been released. The numbers are 0550-331511. We also have 020-473-8481. Again, 0550-331511 and 020-4738-481. Let me just go back to Dr. Richard. Hopefully the line is more stable now. Dr. Richard, are you there? Hello, doctor. Can you hear me? Can you unmute yourself, please? Because I know you're on the line, but we can't hear you. Right. Doc, we'll come back to you shortly. I still have a few questions for you, so it would be great if we could catch you back on the line. Daniel from Navrongo is on the phone line. Hello, Daniel.
Yes, please.
Yes, let's hear you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Your viewers and your listeners.
Thank you.
I'm really enjoying the program. But from what doctor said earlier, the women, out of 50-something, if they were able to confirm or nominate 30-something, it's a right move. The only thing I think we need to do as a country is to encourage more women to apply. If we had like 200 women applying, it would have been awesome. I think more than 100 would have been nominated, and it would have made it more better. So that's what I have to add to the conversation.
Thank you so much, Daniel. We hear you. Yeah. Thank you for watching. We're grateful for your contribution. Back to Dr. Richard, if you can hear me now. I think we're still having issues with Dr. Richard's line there, but I'll just go back to Madame Efia. Do you think the delay in releasing this list has in any way made development at the local government level sluggish? Has it affected the pace of development?
Well, actually, that was a concern of mine at a point in time, but actually the local government system is set up in such a way that even when there isn't an appointee as a municipal or district chief executive, there are systems in place that should still work. I can attest that at least my property rent was collected during that time. When I had a complaint about issues in my area, I called the district assembly. The district assembly saw to it. So I think there are structures in place that ensure that the basic facilities, the basic services still work. So I would say maybe the delay was a little unprecedented, for lack of a better word. But services were still being administered, services were still being provided, and I wouldn't say as a resident in my my municipality there was a huge impact.
Right. Give me a moment there. I'll come back to you shortly. But we have Roland from Agbozome on the line. Hello, Roland.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Let's hear you.
Thank you, sir. My contribution to this discussion is that, at least we have to congratulate the president for at least nominating 38